What's up guys, it's Chaz with Achievement Hub, and today I have decided to make my first real video on the channel. That's not a 30-second clip of me getting a last achievement in a game, but no, this is actually my first actual video. And for the past 2 months, I have just been grinding on retro achievements. As you can see, I'm actually at 11,000 points, and I kind of only got into it because of the Wii event, because I remember playing on the Wii as a kid. Who doesn't? But I actually got, I think, 50 points for it for the event to get my Grandmaster badge, and so I decided to make a tier list on the easiest to the most frustrating games out of all the games I completed. Now, there are games that I beat and did get a point for, because you can beat the game, you get a point, and if you master the game, you get another point for a total of 2 points. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to make a tier list. Still got 1 month left until the event ends, so I'm going to start out with from all the way up here to the very end. That's just the order that the pictures were uploaded in. And first up is Super Mario Galaxy 2. I'm putting that in the frustrating tier. The fucking ice skating challenge achievement took me and my friend, the co-owner of the channel, at least 3 or 4 fucking days. It was so frustrating, and people had ethics about it, about how you got it legitimately or not, but I'm not going to get into that. It was just, it honestly wasn't as bad as the first game in regard to achievements, but it was just that one achievement that was just really frustrating. Second up is Pajama Sam, Don't Fear the Dark. It's just another point and click. I'm going to put that in the easy category because the achievements were just very simple and basic. And up next is actually Mario Party 9. I did not master this because the one achievement where you have to get less than a total of 200 stars in the story mode is just really RNG based. So I'm going to put that in the frustrating tier. And the mini games are just really RNG as well. But up next is Phineas and Ferb, The Quest for Cool Stuff. That's going to be in the time-consuming tier, and also these tiers are easy, somewhat easy, a bit difficult, / time-consuming, difficult, and frustrating. Phineas and Ferb is not a hard game at all. You just have to collect a bunch of stuff, and then as you progress, you get upgrades to where you have to backtrack to previous levels and use that new upgrades to get the stuff. So it's just time consuming. It took me a few hours, I guess, over the course of like a month, because I was just so bored with it sometimes. So up next is actually Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the first edition. I just took pictures of these and uploaded them to Grok, and Grok just told me. So I'm just gonna put this in the somewhat easy tier because it was still a little bit time consuming between that and easy. And then Thomas and Friends, Hero of the Rails, I think it was called, because I really don't care what the names of these are. That's also just going to be in the easy tier. I just sped up the whole entire gameplay. Next up is Mario Party 8. I did not get a completion on this. I just completed the story, got the 1 point from it, but I'm still going to put that in the difficult tier because it was still RNG based. But after that is Grill Off with Ultra Hand, and I played all of these with a keyboard. I did play Mario Party 8 with and I think I played the first half of Mario Galaxy with a controller, but Grill Off with Ultra Hand, I'm gonna put it in the somewhat easy because you really gotta pay attention to get your combos for the achievements. But next up is Super Mario Galaxy, and I think it was the hardest one out of all of these to master because of the Luigi coin achievement, where you had to get all 150 coins. That took me like a week of just constant playing, and there was just a bunch of achievements as well. Like I can pull it up right here. All these are really easy. Like the very first, like the very first achievement is one where you had to catch all the bunnies in under a minute. That took me like an hour because I was still getting used to the controls, and I was playing with a controller. So that's why it's number one and the most frustrating. But then it's learning with the Puyus. I don't know which episodes these are. They're just going to go all in the easy. I'm actually just going to all of them in the easy category. Because you're just numb to whatever's going on and you just skip it. Next up is Pinocchio's puzzle, and it was really time consuming. Like, it was the most time consuming one, I believe. And it took me like 2 days because I was just so out of it. And then next up is Gummy Bears Magic Medallions or some shit like that. I wouldn't say it's difficult. It is just really time consuming as well. It took me like a few hours. But next up is Mario Kart Wii. I'm not going to get a mastery on this because the creator of the achievement just really. The dev for this set just really just does not know what, I guess, what they're doing. Because he made achievements for these that were just borderline RNG and impossible. And even after bringing it up with the compliance team, they found nothing wrong with it. So that's why I'm just going to put it up in frustrating, because there are many of these achievements that just need to be like taken off or put in their own subset. Like, all the versus achievements should have been put in their own subset and just leave all the 3 stars and all the expert time trial ghosts into the game. But I guess it is what it is. I just don't see, he hasn't even updated the set since March or April. So it is what it is. I'm just not even gonna bother with it no more. I got all the achievements I could. But up next is Freddy Fish. I think it was like Deep Sea Kelp Mystery. That's just another point and click. Same with Pajama Sam. I think up next is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Almost said Rudolph's Puzzle, but that's coming up at the very end. It's difficult. I'm actually going to say it's difficult because the controls for keyboard and mouse are just non-existent. So you're going to have to, like, you had to fiddle with it a lot. And the present, the one where you had to bounce the presents and the lights onto your head, that was just really, really just fucking terrible. But up next is Golden Balls. That was really easy. Took me like 15 minutes to complete. And then last of the racing games is M&M's Kart Racing. That was time consuming because you had to get 1,000. You had to get 1,000 coins with each of the M&M colors, and you had to beat the times, which were just really difficult for no reason. Especially the first level. The first level was like the most difficult, and the very end one was just really easy. So I don't know how they did that. But next up is the Monkey King. I didn't know you had to tilt to move forward. You could move forward normally, but it's just extremely slow. I just thought it was like one of those auto scrollers until you got to like the last achievements where you had to complete the story in race mode, which you couldn't shoot. All you had to do was just dodge all the enemies, and they all were in a pattern to where they just got hit constantly, and there was no invulnerability window. It was maybe like a fraction of a second, and you're just constantly taking damage again, and then you just die. And I didn't figure it out until I think like 3 days later when I was on that last one. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the Monkey King: The Legend Begins, when you had to beat round 6 in race mode. I didn't know you could tilt to go faster. Like, the whole level tilts and you just barrel through it, and you could just stick in the top right of the corner to not get hit at all. And I'm actually gonna put that in a difficult tier because it was just so stupid that there was nothing in the tutorial. I don't even think there was a tutorial. You just went straight in. But up next is, what is this game called? Fucking Gummy Bears and Mini Golf. That's also difficult because there's the one world you had to get a near perfect run, and it was just so time consuming. And I think it took it, and if you missed a shot, you literally had to reset the entire game because because luckily you could just go right back into the last hole you're in, and if you miss, you exit out of the dolphin, you go back in, and you try again. And each time it took like 20 seconds to go back in, and you had just had to constantly go through this one hole, because if you max shoot it, you get a hole in one, and you get extra coins, and you had to get like 1,000 coins in total to get everything in the shop. And I think it only gave like 8 per hole, so you just had to constantly keep going and do it like over 100 times. But that was just really time consuming. But I just put in the difficult category because of the near perfectness you need for the last set of holes. So next up is New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Let me see if I actually had a hard time with it. It's Mario Party 9. I did master it. It took me almost 17 hours. I don't think it was that hard. No, it actually was really hard because of World 9. The World 9 world level where you were just on ice the whole time, and at the very end you had to use I forget what the achievement was. Let me see if I can find it actually. No, I can't find it. Alright, but it was like, I guess you couldn't like actually, I really don't know, but yeah, you had to get all the God damn, I can't fucking speak. You had to get all the star coins in World 9. World 9 was so hard. The ice level, the one where it was like an auto scroller with the fucking piranha plants and the bombs, and you had to get you had to get like a bunch of coins from the bombs. It was just so stupid, and it was just so frustrating. That's why it just brought back PTSD. That's why I'm putting it up in the frustrating tier. Next up is Frogger Returns. Now, if they let us keep our points, because this actually got removed a day after it came out, I managed to master it within like 45 minutes. Despite it being a simple Frogger game, it was so frustratingly hard that I'm actually putting it in the time consuming tier. It's harder than all these other ones, because during the sewer level, you know how Frogger works, like the logs move to the right, but these turtles move to the left, and it's like it's like turtle log turtle log. So the turtles move to the left really fast, but the hitbox for the out of bounds is like right next to the pixel where you need to jump onto the log to get on top to one of the gates, because you have to go through 5 gates to actually beat the level. But the leftmost gate was the most frustrating one out of all of them, and that took me like a good 20 minutes to get. But I had to take a break because it was just so frustrating. So next up is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the 2nd edition. And again, took screenshots, sent it to Grok, but it was actually a lot harder than I'm actually going to put this in the time consuming, because it did take me like a good 2 hours. And I know that might not be time consuming for the average person, but like taking screenshots and sending it to Grok actually made me lose on one of the games, because it just said the wrong thing. You can't always trust AI. I really don't either. But yeah, you had to win 10 games because you had to get 10 million quid or pounds or whatever those people call it. But the last one is Christmas Puzzle. That was also time consuming. I'm putting it right next to Pinocchio's Puzzle, because honestly, it wasn't actually as long as Pinocchio's Puzzle, but that's pretty much it. That is my tier list for the Wii event. Now, Frogger Returns doesn't count. That means I'm going to have to play another game. I'm actually playing Rabbids Go Home, because I actually did want that to be my last one for the event. But I guess since Who Wants to Be a Millionaire came out and Frogger, I guess that just wasn't going to happen. So that's my tier list. I do have another video coming out soon. I edited it all down. It's a Diddy Kong Racing video. It's just showing all the achievements I got for the unorthodox racing subset, and I did not make one for the crunch only subset because I just wanted to get that done. and it honestly wasn't as hard as people are saying. But Crunch really was the worst character out of it. But it wasn't that hard if you know what you're doing and all the out of bound tricks. Because I like to just break the game as much as I can. So I just got to do my voice overdub on it, and maybe add like no, I edited it completely. It's like a 20-minute video, but all I gotta do is just like dub over it with my voice and cut out and then cut back in during some parts and then cut back out again. But that's pretty much it. You don't gotta like, you don't gotta sub. I would appreciate it though, but this is just a passion project with a friend of mine. Um, and I want to pay. I kind of want to make a podcast with her about it, about the different topics of achievement hunting and all that. But she hasn't been playing recently. She's been playing Mineplex. So anyway, guys, I will see you next time in the Diddy Kong Racing video. So I will see y'all later. Bye.